They say the hardest part of a breakup isn't the shouting. It's the silence that follows when two people realize they're better apart. That silence. I lived in it for months. My name's Matt. I'm 41, father of two incredible twin boys, and officially divorced for a little over 3 years now. There was no big betrayal, no courtroom battle, just two people who once meant everything to each other, growing into strangers. Emily and I met in college. She studied architecture. I did engineering. We were that couple who always got invited to game nights and weddings, the ones people said were so balanced. And for a while, we really were. The boys were born 5 years into our marriage. I'll never forget holding both of them in my arms, wondering how the hell I was supposed to be good enough for either one. Parenthood humbled us both. But it also exposed the cracks. We stopped being husband and wife and started functioning like a well-run co-parenting team. Efficient, cooperative, loveless. We gave it another year for the kids. Therapy sessions, long talks after bedtime, attempts at date nights that ended in awkward silences or arguments about nap schedules. Finally, one night over cold takeout, she said it out loud first. I think we're trying to save something that already ended. And I agreed. Our divorce was signed without drama. No lawyers fighting, no custody battles. We set up a 50-50 split, no alimony. We promised to raise our boys with respect for them and for each other. I moved into a small rental 10 minutes away, so I'd never be far. I kept showing up for school pickups, doctor visits, soccer practices, never missed a birthday or a parent-teacher night. I wasn't the perfect dad, but I tried to be a present one. And Emily? She was fair, firm, even kind. We talked logistics, celebrated milestones together, and for a while, it worked. But as I learned later, peace in a blended life is fragile. About a year after our divorce, Emily remarried. His name was Scott, software guy, 2 years older than me. Polite in that overly polished kind of way. He had a daughter, Lily, from a previous marriage. Sweet kid, maybe 8 or 9, always clinging to Emily's hand when I dropped the boys off. At first, I was glad Emily found someone. She seemed lighter, happier, and Scott, to his credit, never overstepped, not at first. Then came the little asks. Hey, would you mind taking Lily along with the boys to the zoo? Scott's working late. Could you include her in the birthday plans? She'd feel left out otherwise. It caught me off guard. I wasn't mean about it. I said I'd think about it. Sometimes I said yes, but each time, it felt like I was being nudged toward a role I hadn't signed up for. When I started saying no, gently, the tone shifted, not angry, just disappointed, like I was failing an unspoken test. And that's when I realized this wasn't going to stay simple. It started with a text. Lily was really upset after the weekend. She asked why you never hug her goodbye like the boys. I stared at the message longer than I should have, not because I didn't care, but because I didn't know how to respond. I wasn't Lily's dad. I wasn't even a step anything. I was just their dad. I replied carefully. I care about Lily, but my focus is on the boys. I don't want to confuse that. Emily didn't respond right away, but a week later, Scott called. Look, he said, we're trying to build a united household. If the kids see favoritism, it creates tension. Maybe you could think more holistically. It felt like a setup, like if I didn't play along, I'd be the selfish one. Then came the comparisons. You brought the boys new backpacks. Lily felt left out. You took them to Disneyland. Do you know how that looked? It stopped being requests. It became pressure, worded as moral duty. And I felt the walls closing in. The twins had a class trip to D.C., 3 days, museums, hotel, chartered bus. I paid the full amount the same day the forms came home. I was proud. It felt good, being able to give them that. 2 days later, Emily called. Hey, since you're already paying for the boys, would it be possible to cover Lily's spot too? And maybe Logan's? Her nephew. It's just easier if they all go together. I blinked. Wait, you're asking me to pay for your stepdaughter and your sister's kid? She hesitated. Well, they're all part of the same household. Lily would feel left out otherwise. I'm not responsible for other people's children, I said, calm but firm. That night, Scott texted. A long paragraph about emotional equity, community parenting, and how my refusal might damage group cohesion. I didn't reply. I couldn't. I sat in silence, staring at the message, something heavy pressing on my chest. How did doing right by my sons become a reason to be shamed? How did saying no become cruelty? Something had shifted, and I felt it snap inside me. It spread faster than I expected. Within days of saying no to the trip, my phone lit up like a siren. Emily's sister messaged me on Facebook. So you're really okay hurting a little girl over a few $100s? Her mom left a voicemail. I thought you were better than this. The boys will learn selfishness from you. Even her brother chimed in, texted me late at night, half drunk probably. Real men don't play favorites with kids. Then came the comments on an old photo of me and the boys fishing. Funny how family only means two people to some. 10 likes, all their circle. It wasn't just pressure. It was a coordinated guilt trip. I felt fury rise, hot and clear, not because they disagreed, but because they tried to rewrite my role in my son's lives. Like being a good dad wasn't enough unless I played father to the whole village. I didn't respond, not yet. But in my chest, something solidified. I would not bend. I would not pay penance for someone else's parenting. My love wasn't currency. And my fatherhood wasn't for sale. The message came on a Sunday morning. Emily invited me over to talk about something important. The boys were with me that weekend, so I assumed it was a schedule issue. Instead, she pulled out a brochure. A 4-bedroom colonial near the school, big yard, newly renovated. She smiled like it was good news. We were thinking, she said gently. This would be the perfect space for the kids. They'd have their rooms, a backyard, stability, but we can't do it alone. I blinked. You're asking me to buy a house for your new family. She tilted her head. No, for our boys. A home they can share with everyone they love. Isn't that worth it? I felt cold, not angry, just emptied. This isn't about the boys anymore, I said. This is about you using my love for them to fund your life. Scott stepped in, arms crossed. We thought you'd want to contribute, since you're so focused on being present. I stood up. My presence is not a blank check. I provide for my kids, not for your household, your plans, or your comfort. Emily's smile vanished. I looked her in the eye. This ends here. No more guilt. No more fairness speeches. I'm their father, not your sponsor. And I walked out, not because I was angry, because I was done. I sat the boys down a few days later, just the three of us on the back porch, sipping cocoa, watching the sky darken. Guys, I said, there's something I need you to understand. I'll always be here for you. Always. But sometimes being a good dad means making hard choices, even if other people don't get it. They listened, quiet but focused. I told them I wouldn't be doing things for other people's families anymore, that it doesn't mean I care less, but that my job is to take care of them, not the world. One of them nodded, like when we have to say no to stuff, even if our friends don't. Exactly. After that, something shifted. The messages stopped. Scott never called again. Emily became polite. Short emails about schedules, nothing more. No tension, just boundaries, and me. I slept better. I laughed more. I stopped waiting for approval from people who only saw me as useful when I said yes. Fatherhood didn't mean financing someone else's fantasy. It meant being steady, honest, present, and for the first time in years, I felt like I was finally raising my boys not just with love, but with dignity. No revenge. No drama. Just peace.